What's up, YouTube? So I got asked this video about Steve Francis versus Mike Bibby. Who had a better NBA career and breaking it down. Now, Bibby played 5 more years, had better playoff situation. I think he had more total steals, and there was one more other thing. But overall, Francis had a better stat situation. I think it really comes down to the situations on the teams they had in health. I really do. Because I do believe that if you put the two up equal to equal, I know franchise to my eyeball test would have him beat. But Bibby did have that outer body year in 2002 when some people feel that Sacramento Kings got robbed by the NBA and the refs and didn't get to beat the Lakers and didn't get to go to finals and play the Nets. Bibby played out his mind. That was probably his peak in his prime because he never was quite the same. The funny thing about it, when he was with that Sacramento team, I was probably more concerned with Bobby Jackson because of his energy than I was with Bibby. Bibby was a three-point shooter, could shoot the outside. Will he be good today? So would Steve Francis. That loans itself to another question. Of these two cats, who would thrive in today's game better? I think it would be Francis because Francis had spring in him. A lot of people forget the 2000 slam dunk contest. Everybody was in love with Vince Carter, and rightfully so. He won the dunk contest. He was must-see TV and the greatest dunker, I think. I think if I had to pick, because that performance left me still to this day. I didn't say the battles. I'm saying about individually, Vince. But a lot of people forget that T-Mac got off in that dunk contest and Steve Francis got off in that dunk contest. A lot of people forget that. He had spring in him, a guard that could get up. He had hops, could handles, could play. Injuries, attitude, situations did not work. Bibby, on the other hand, had a great situation playing with Vlade Divac, Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic. They had a nice squad. Doug Christie. They had a Rick Alderman. He was able, but it didn't end well, And it's almost like he was, I don't want to say flukish, but he did some things really well, but then there were things that just didn't pan out for a guy who had a situation that was ideal. So it's an interesting conversation when I bring up these two because some people are going to look at it and think like, well, wow. When you look at the numbers, and I happen to go on this site called Land of Basketball because I don't just do this off the top of my head. But if I just did the eyeball test, I do the eyeball test if you ask me who I think was better. I think without a doubt it was Steve Francis. I just think injuries and circumstances, and I think not having a cohesive situation is what shortened that. I don't think there was really that close. I think Bibby could shoot probably better, and he could pinpoint certain things. But I think if Steve Francis had a Sacramento Kings situation, I think he would have thrived in his career. So I don't really think that there is that close. That even though Bibby played 5 more years, Francis had him beaten a lot of statistical categories. So I'm saying this with just the naked eye. I'm taking Francis, but it always is subjective, and there's a lot of ways to look at it, and there's a lot of layers to it. But just saying that's kind of how I look at it. It's all based on what you feel, what you want to see in the trajectory. So anyway, it makes up for a good discussion and debate because they were two of the guards of the early OOs, and they had interesting roads and where roads traveled and how they end up playing. So I think it makes for a good debate. But anyway, let me know what you think. Steve Francis versus Mike Bibby. Who do you think had the better NBA career? And put everything in totality. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace one time.